Now back to Keeping It Real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Only on News Talk 1090 AM WILD Boston, where information is power.
You never know who's on the Al Sharpton Show. The Queen of Soul.
I appreciate you as many millions do.
Aretha Franklin.
Keep up the good work.
The Rev's Rolodex is wide open. And now the man that brings it all to you, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Real, keeping it real. I'm your host, Reverend Al Sharpton, live still at the National Action Network House of Justice, and sitting with me, James M. Toomey, the Sage, and Mark Thompson, radio personality, activist extraordinary, Andre Eglishan in our Southeast studio. Andre, the rally and town hall meeting here against violence is still going on. Place is packed. Officials still going on. People are talking. We're now at the town hall segment where for the last hour or so, people from the audience are giving their ideas. We're taking them down and challenging the officials on what they're going to do legislatively. And part of what I'm trying to do is make the U.S. senators and the mayor and everybody, state controllers here, all come to the ground and hear the people and commit to them. That's about empowering people and bringing solutions. That's not about having City Hall Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King was about on the ground where the people were.
Not ceremony. Not a bunch of ceremony and pomp and circumstance. These are about the issues. And the mayor, Andre, as you mentioned, I don't know, I guess people could hear it on air, I'm not sure, but the mayor, I mean, that was accountability. The mayor was booed.
Yep.
You know, for any number of reasons I know, between Snow between Snow and Kathy Black. We can do a whole show on Kathy Black. But that is accountability. You can't get that at a ceremony where everything is controlled downtown.
And that's where you know where you are. Now, I had brought up about Baby Doc. I want you, M. Toomey, you studied this Haitian political process, and I know Andre knows it well and is right down near Haiti. Explain what I'm seeing here.
Well, just as we were going, I think when we went off there, the three of us were talking here, and I said, but here's the thing that's very interesting in this equation. Like we said, he couldn't have gotten there without the okay of the United States and especially France with the other stuff that they're going through. But isn't it interesting? They will run out of the country basically through Clinton's orders that he didn't want him there anymore. But Baby Doc comes back. But Aristide can't set foot in Haiti. Someone that the people love. So I'm saying there's no way, what do they say, the old African proverb, if you know the beginning well, the end will not trouble you. Well, I know this. If he's there, this is a setup for something bigger. I don't care if it's 3 days or 3 minutes.
He was in France, right? Was that where he was exiled?
Yeah. Well, Andre, what am I looking at here?
Wait, Andre.
I think what you're looking at is, once again, the United States is ignoring CARICOM and their desire, the Caribbean Community of Nations, and their desire to try to keep some stability while Haiti is trying to rebuild and is still in a fragile state from the earthquakes and all of this. So once again, they've had the United States is not having a healthy regard for what the Caribbean Community of Nations want, just as they did when Aristide was ousted from Haiti. We had a CARICOM solution. President Bush didn't pay any attention to it. Colin Powell was sent there to tell him, listen, either you get out or we can't give you any protection. But this is just another example, in my opinion, of the hubristic foreign policy of the United States. You talked about Patrice Lumumba. He was assassinated by elements in the United States. Yeah, I said it. Because the United States wanted to get their hands on the uranium in the Congo. And it's one of the few places on earth where uranium is mined, and uranium is in very short supply. So once again, I mean, if you have a natural resource, then the United States will come in with a hubristic foreign policy to make sure that you don't have complete autonomy, control over that resource. In the case of Haiti, I think it's a 200-year-long vendetta. How dare you overthrow the shackles of European colonialism, the only black country in the Western Hemisphere to have ever done that. So it's just another example of imperial hubris coming from the United States.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Roland in Detroit. Roland? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, you're on there. Go ahead, Roland.
Yeah, how you doing, gentlemen?
Fine.
Listen, I think that Baby Doc may be back in Haiti to get some of his hands on some of the billions that have been allocated to rebuild it. I don't see any other reason he would be down there. unless they're going to sneak up on them and arrest them. It's just
if they sneak up on him and arrest him, he didn't come down there for that. So he came down there for some other reason. Now, it didn't look like to me he was sneaking in the country. So I don't know how they got to sneak up on him.
People welcoming him. They knew he was welcome.
And with CARICOM telling the State Department this guy is on his way back.
And they told him he's on his way back, and they had said, Prevail had said if he came back, he'd be tried for the atrocities and the thievery of the state or the government funds. And I haven't heard of a move yet on that.
No. Gentlemen, I just want to say that's just another tragedy during these times. And I think one of the worst that I've experienced is the police-involved shooting of the 7-year-old Ayanna Jones in Detroit.
Right.
And on this day in Detroit, which I call now a sleepy colony, these folks here is roaming all around the city. They don't want to deal with Ayanna Jones at all. The state police has been investigating this since May, and they still are quiet. The mayor, the black police chief, ministers, so-called leaders, they've all been co-opted. This is the case now that I've ever seen.
Yes. No, Roland is right. Thank you for your call. This is the case of the 7-year-old girl sleep on the couch. Police rushed the house, claimed they were looking for someone who killed someone else, and threw a bomb, a firebomb, and it killed the girl. I preached the funeral, and the community outrage. I thought they'd handle it in the local community. You heard Roland's assessment. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. 1-877-532-5797. 1-877-532-5797. Sharpton. We'll be right back.
1090 WILDAF. WILD. Where information is power.
I'm your host, Reverend Al Sharpton. Andre Eglishan is with me. James M. Toomey sitting with me here at Nash Action Network headquarters. Let's go to the phone. Let's go to Russ in Detroit. Russ, happy King Day.
Late for president.
How you doing?
I feel excellent. I feel good on this Martin Luther King, Michelle Obama birthday.
That's right.
You understand?
First lady's birthday. That's right.
You know, the next time I go to Washington, I've been there 2 or 3 times, but I never wanted to go to the White House. I'm going to go to the Black House now. And I want Andre to be your chief of staff. Because he stay on it. You understand? I like your fire in the belly, Andre.
Thank you.
You know, we ain't gonna forget 7-year-old Ayanna, okay, that was killed in Detroit. And you know, you've been speaking about idolatry and idling. I think it's more like the folks been with this. I think it's more like hypocrisy. You know, because these Negroes, they stand for everything that Malcolm was against. And they fanfare and celebrity. I think these folks just like to gather a bunch of colored people around, have a march, and just for the fanfare. Because they, like you say, the microphone and the cameras. That's all they want. If you really had a burden for Martin Luther King's work, they'd be out here in the street like you, my brother Al, fighting for justice.
I'll tell you one thing, Russ, and thank you for your call. I'll tell you one thing, Russ and Andre and Toombs. You know, a lot of people say, why do we get involved, Gina and Katrina and, you know, Sean Bell or whatever. I never had to get in line when I got there. So, you know, there's a line at the studio, but I never got to a march or demonstration or going to jail or raise an issue and had to get in line.
That's right.
Usually we had to beg people to come with us. I'm talking about other leaders. Now the masses have been there. Let's go to Dean in Columbia, South Carolina. Dean.
God bless you, Reverend Al.
Bless you.
And God bless you, Andre. I am a 61-year-old pastor disabled vet and mentor. And I just want, and there ain't nothing about me, and I'm not trying to build myself up. I just got a challenge, Reverend Al.
Okay.
What I would call baby boomers, because I'm one of them. See, I was in high school when Martin Luther King died. But I know one thing, and I like your show because you keep it real. And you almost said some of the things I wanted to say. When you're a drum major and you're in front of that band marching up the street, everybody behind you has got to be on the same beat. If you trip off and fall, that band ain't going to stop. It's going to be somebody else got to step up and pick up that baton and keep on moving. Just like in a race. Martin Luther King, they thought they killed the dream, but they didn't. They killed the dreamer. But guess what? I see so many baby boomers still enslaved. I see so many baby boomers still enslaving the dream. Even the dream is enslaved because of mediocrity, self-achievement, complacency, our comfort zones. We got to break out of it, especially for our young people. We got to. I mentor 27 young people every morning. Like I say, I'm disabled, I'm sort of immobile, but I got my fingers. I get on my phone and I text a word every day, every morning to my mentees. But I notice in the jails, Reverend Al, the faces in our pink penal system, they're getting younger and darker every day. And I remember as a boy, and I was in the army, and I got in the army, and I had my white NCO say, I don't know if I was wrong with that Martin Luther King. They trying to make it a holiday for him. He was one of the biggest racists. But I tell him point blank, I said, for what I know about Dr. King, I never met him, but what I know about him, he did not fight for special treatment for blacks. He fought for equal treatment. He didn't fight for, he fought for equal treatment, and he fought for justice. I know one thing he said in his letter, when even some of his own ministers and followers said, wait a minute, Dr. King, this is a little untimely. No. Martin Luther King told him that justice too long delayed is justice denied. And I just want to say this, baby boomers, let's pick up the baton and run with it. Let's get out of denial. Let's get out of fear. Fear is the opposite of faith. I don't idolize Martin Luther King, but I idolize the Jesus in him, because through Jesus comes faith, courage, patience, love, even for your enemies. There's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way. Let's step up, baby boomer. Let's do it the right way. To God be the glory, Reverend Al.
All right. Thank you for your call. Let's go to Steve in Chicago. Steve?
Yes, I wanted to ask the question of you and your panel as to whether or not there is this idea offered by various scholars, including William Julius Wilson, who contends that in the future the dividing lines aren't going to be so much predicated upon race as they are going to be on class. That in the past, the civil rights movement, having said whatever we want to argue with regard to its divisions, did have much more of a clear-cut understanding of right and wrong. The vast majority of Americans, only single-digit Americans in terms of survey after survey, would argue that children should be segregated based on race when it comes to education, that you should be able to open up a restaurant and deny service to someone based on color or race or religion and so forth. And unlike the issues of the past, today's issues become more ambiguous, much more gray. Where, when it comes to affirmative action, where does one draw the line? How much is too much? When it comes to the issue of reparations, according to the Pew Research Center, a third of African Americans oppose reparations.
Yeah, now, first of all, what you're doing, Steve, that I don't agree with, is you're creating what the issues of the day are. We're talking about blatant inequality. When you have black kids 3 grades behind whites in reading, that's not ambiguous. 4 grades in math, that's not ambiguous. Rate of those incarcerated charged with the same crime with the same criminal background. You're talking about people that have developed ways to remedy it. The problems are not ambiguous. So don't say that the problems of the day are ambiguous. The problems of the day are real. And you can argue about whether you agree with affirmative action to address it or reparation to address it, but you can't argue about the problems of today. That's not ambiguous.
The argument lies within the question as to why those conditions exist. There's a great deal.
They can exist because of racism, and it is a result of a history that leads to now. We didn't wake up one morning and it happened.
1090 WILDAF. WILD. Where information is power.
Don't touch that dial.
Rockstar, gorgeous, and matter of fact, still waking up to the People's Station.
Classic soul are ready to eat.
Need me to call? Wanna make a call? Wanna rally?
Everybody's talking. Tom Joyner in the morning. Warren Valentine at 10. Al Sharpton Show. The People's Station.
Radio station.
1090 AM.
WILD.
Boston, where information is power. The Osiris Group proudly presents Families Do Matter with your hosts Larry and Deborah Hickenbottom. Sundays from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern on News Talk 1090 AM WILD Boston, where information is power.